PNC News First is presented by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank. Pizza Hut, we're taking pizza where it's never been before. Taco Bell, the only place where you live Moss. Guam Auto Spot. Colgate, the #1 brand recommended by dentists. And IT&E, Life in Motion.
Live from the Broadcast Center, Akata, Guam, broadcasting in Guam and Saipan. Here's Janela Carrera and Clint Rizzo with Donna De Jesus and Rebecca Elmore. PNC Sports with Leo Bayumo and weather with Chelsea Cruz. This is PNC News First.
Hafa day and good evening. You're watching PNC's News First, live from the Broadcast Center in Akanta. I'm Clint Rizzo. Topping your news tonight, the Guam Police Department is looking into a report of a possible kidnapping and stabbing incident that occurred around 8 a.m. this morning. GPD spokeswoman Captain Kim Santos says they received a report of a kidnapping at the Kmart parking lot. Santos says the incident is related to another incident that was reported at the Dusitani Hotel. Santos did not provide further details. She did provide a description of the suspect. Male, medium build, dark complexion, wearing a black hooded long sleeve shirt, black shorts, with no facial hair, and with stained teeth. Santos says the suspect also reeked of alcohol and strong body odor. Meanwhile, an ambulance that responded to the incident did not clear the ceiling of the Dusitani's parking structure. There was damage to the roof of the ambulance, and a large circular spiderweb crack on the passenger side of the windshield of that ambulance. PNC saw what appeared to look like an EMT on a stretcher there. Stay tuned for more details as the story is developing. A dead body was found near Jeff's Pirates Cove in Ipan early this morning. Guam Fire Department spokesperson Kevin Riley says they responded to the beach side of Jeff's Pirates Cove at around 6:45 a.m., describing a pulseless or breathless man. But Riley says upon arrival, the incident was reclassified as an expired body. Riley says the Guam Police Department is conducting an investigation, but as of news time, GPD spokesperson Captain Kim Santos has not released any information on the case. Attorney Jackie Terlahi says her client, Archbishop Anthony Aparon, will not be participating in any settlement negotiations pending the outcome of Aparon's canonical trial in the Vatican, which she says should be rather soon. PNC's Janela Carrera with more.
There are still a number of issues that are tying up settlement talks between the Archdiocese of Agana and the scores of victims suing for civil claims of sexual abuse. Specifically, attorney David Lujan, who represents all victims who have filed in federal court so far, says he's still waiting for Hope and Healing Guam Executive Director Michael Caspino to turn over financial statements for the Archdiocese, as well as the church's insurance policy. In addition, Lujan told U.S. Magistrate Judge Joaquin Manabusan that he needs more time to determine which parties will be a part of an alternative dispute resolution or ADR process. This ADR would open up the door for a settlement agreement. Most parties are on board, with only a few who have yet to state their position. However, so far, out of the parties who are aware of the potential settlement, the one defendant who is not willing to participate is Archbishop Anthony Aparon. His attorney, Jackie Terlahi.
My client is not considering settling any cases until such time as the canonical trial is complete.
Aparon has been on trial at the Vatican for several months, facing sexual abuse allegations from at least 4 alleged victims: Walter Denton, Roland Sandia, Roy Quintanilla, and Doris Concetta on behalf of her late son, Joseph Sonny Canetta. When allegations first surfaced, Aparon was quick to dispute the claims and immediately maintained his innocence.
The canonical trial is ongoing. I've received word that there may be a decision forthcoming, but that's always prospective, especially when it comes from a completely sovereign nation like Vatican.
Today, Judge Manabusan ordered the parties to return in 3 weeks as they wait on the outcome of Aparon's canonical trial. Knowing that he does not want to rush into an ADR process, Judge Manabusan said he was inclined to give more time before moving forward in the cases that involve Aparon. The cases that do not involve Aparon, however, will continue to be held in abeyance, but will move forward nonetheless.
Mr. Lujan, if Archbishop Aparon is found not guilty in his canonical trial, do you think that will influence the outcome of the ADR process?
I don't think it has any effect. I've never cared for that canonical thing because my role, is to sue for money. And so, do I care that he's the Archbishop or a defrocked one? Doesn't mean anything, as far as the ADR is concerned.
If he's cleared in the canonical trial, would you consider participating in the ADR process?
You'll have to wait and see. All right?
Janela Carrera, PNC News.
More details revealed in the Justin Meno assault case. Department of Corrections Director Tony Lamarena has confirmed the names of two other officers who were suspended, Jeffrey Cruz and Corporal Manny Cruz. PNC's Janela Carrera reports.
Although DOC Director Tony Lamarena did not disclose why the two were suspended, he referred to the internal investigations report that was attached to the appeal filed by the corrections officer who was fired, Benjamin Urquizu. The report indicates that Corporal Manny Cruz was a duty manager of Post 6, where inmate Justin Meno was found hogtied and badly beaten. But on March 29th, Corporal Cruz reported for postal duties instead of taking his shift at Post 6. In addition, Corporal Cruz admits to officers in the report that he bagged up all the evidence, such as makeshift rope, broken mop sticks, and bloody rags, and then threw them away. Corporal Cruz was suspended for 15 days. The other officer who was suspended for 10 days, Jeffrey Cruz, meanwhile, admitted to DOC investigators that he unlocked some of the inmates' cells and let them out. Post 6 is a special housing unit that is on lockdown 23 hours a day with only 1 hour of fresh air on a staggered basis. At least 7 inmates were let loose inside DOC's most dangerous unit because of sewage overflow, and all at one time. So far, 2 of those inmates have been arrested for Meno's attempted murder, Jeremiah Isazaki and Albert Babalta Santos. Meantime, at a Civil Service Commission status call today for the only corrections officer who was fired, Benjamin Urquizu, Union Representative Robert Koss questioned DOC's investigation and pointed out that the department failed to specify their findings.
In the investigation report, it basically, a lot of data was gathered, but then it appears they jumped right to the conclusion that he failed to perform his duties. We have no idea what duties he allegedly failed to perform, and there's no findings. So, essentially this is just jumping to conclusions. You gather a lot of data to make an informed decision, but you got to have some findings before you can reach any conclusion.
At today's status call, Koss also brought up the process in which Urquizu was terminated. According to Koss, Urquizu was first suspended for 20 days, placed on administrative leave for another 20 days, and then terminated.
Yeah, but there's still this unpaid period that is not being disclosed.
Oh, the 20 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're calling it 20 days administrative leave without pay.
Right.
But leave without pay has to be requested by the employee. The employee didn't request it. If management places an employee on leave without pay, that's called a suspension.
He still hasn't been paid?
No. We are starting that as a suspension, and it should be 1 disciplinary action per incident. So, if indeed he was suspended, then he should not also be dismissed.
The next hearing is scheduled for June 22 at 2 p.m. Janela Carrera, PNC News.
With the trial of UOG Professor Michael Ellert a month away, there are still a couple of issues to resolve before jury selection can begin. PNC's Donna De Jesus has more.
Michael Ellert was accused of sexually assaulting 3 university students in 2014. His trial is next month, and at today's pretrial conference, counsels tried to finalize all matters. Ellert's attorney, Jay Ariola, is requesting for a final witness list and exhibits from the prosecution. But Assistant Attorney General Matt Heibel doesn't feel these are urgent matters. The prosecution submitted a preliminary witness list, which Heibel says is similar to the witness list the defense submitted.
In terms of exhibits, certainly all discovery is of course fair game, but we can submit an exhibit list roughly a week or so before trial, just in case there's any specific questions about those exhibits. But obviously everything we would be using has already been provided in discovery.
The prosecution's case in chief is expected to last about a week. Heibel adds that jury selection may take some time because of the media attention Ellert's case has received. And on that subject, Ariola noted his previous request to prohibit cameras and continued to push for a jury questionnaire.
We have filed in the pretrial a motion to prohibit cameras in the courtroom based on its effect in our being able to select a fair and impartial jury. We would renew our request that we be permitted a jury questionnaire in order to verify our motion to exclude cameras. We need to gauge the effect and the extent of the media exposure on the jury veneer's ability to remain fair and impartial, notwithstanding the media publicity generated in this case, which has detailed a number of the facts.
Ariola adds that the use of a jury questionnaire proved very effective, especially in high-profile cases, such as the highly publicized trial of ex-cop Mark Torrey Jr. And while the prosecution agreed that a jury questionnaire would also be helpful in this case, Judge Vern Perez maintained his stance on the matter.
I have my preference to really seems that the media question is first and foremost for you. No doubt that question will be asked during the hearing. I'm trying to not be wasteful. I don't want to bring everybody in for one day simply to get a questionnaire. Yes, I know it's a high-profile case. At the same time, it's not likely as high-profile as maybe the case you referred to, both you counsels, and considering that, I'm not certain about it. But you're welcome to try.
Both parties plan to meet to put questions together and finalize the questionnaire. A hearing to discuss the matter will be on July 6th. Reporting for PNC, I'm Donna De Jesus.
Judge Perez denied both motions to exclude evidence and to dismiss indictment. Ellert's jury selection and trial is slated for July 12th at 1:30 p.m. All right, we'll keep watching PNC. We have more news first after this.